Hello, weekly update for revenue hypothesis. I started with my projections when I started this project because that was my first. Gotta do the numbers before I did anything else. So I guess I kind of knew a little bit when I got into this process of the project that I'm going to do beer and sandwiches. And I also had a little idea, but I'm kind of analyzing it a little bit more right now. So what I thought was beer has more profit margins than food, and I basically started with this assumption, and the people I've been talking to have verified it. Combo Combos help and drive the profit margins. You gotta make it a combo. In the restaurant industry, you just can't just not be selling one food item with no combos or drinks. Upselling works. People are being trained. People are trained. People are cajoled. People are basically pushed to upsell to bring in more profit margins with selling more than one item. Revenues do depend upon average ticket price or number of orders, depending on what you can how the amount of customers you get in or what your prices are set as to have the average ticket or number of orders work for you. And of course, marketing will drive sales. We all know that. I did know that. I do know that. Here's what I found out. I was verified. My assumption was verified. I was told that there is 50% margin in beer. I was probably thinking about 30 to 40, but I was told between 50 and 50 plus, or even between 50 to 60%. So it's really cheap to buy beer, and there is a lot of margin. You can sell beer on tap between, you know, from $3 to like $4, and for happy hour for $2 to $4, and people will consume about 2 to 4 drinks instead of just one. There are very few people who just come in for one drink. And of course, when people drink, it is accompanied with in combination with food and or both. The word of mouth works, and I have heard it from. I have a few friends in the restaurant industry, and they all tell me that it works. The word of mouth works once the business is established. And restaurant business has been pretty shaky in the past few years, so it is coming. The economy is getting better, but the word of mouth is only going to work when you've had quite a bit of marketing and you have fixed clientele or people who are your regular customers and they come in all the time and they tell other people, but people do need to have consistent coupons and promotions to entice them into the restaurant. What I need to do is I need to figure out about my average ticket or my average orders, that how am I going to get. I was trying to figure out if it's $25 for average ticket, what would people be buying, or what would be the combination of food item and drinks that they would do, or about 80 orders per day for me to make up the 60 to $90,000 avenue that I'm projecting. My rent was going to be about 2,500, which is like 30, it's about four now, but the landlord, because of the changes in economy and vacancies that he has in his commercial spots, is willing to do a $2,500 fixed rent for the first 3 years, and which is good enough for me. And then it's going to go about like $500 to 3,000. I'm projecting about 8 employees, 8 full-time employees, and a manager. Of course, we know the fixed costs of utilities and will be telephone. Food, I'm projecting about 20%, which is pretty basic in the restaurant industry. 20% food, 20 to 30% food, let's say 20 to 30, and 20% labor. And then you gotta have figured out a break even for your sales. So I think I'm pretty close to that, but these are just projections. I need to narrow down my variable expenses. I need to figure out how much does it cost for a beer. I know very well about food, but I haven't kind of know about beer from the convenience stores, but not in the sit down kind of a restaurant environment for beer. So I would need to figure out my, cost and purchase amount of purchase I need to do in the beer. Marketing budget, I have put it at about 3,600 to 4,000 per month, but I might have to spend a little bit more. I'm going to talk to marketing people here this week or probably the next. I haven't had a chance to sit down and talk to them. I'm thinking it's going to be pretty spendy for the first year, and I was told I need to kind of not do it just randomly. It needs to be consistent marketing for a new business. And also I need to figure out how I will achieve the projected revenue. So so far so good. People have been really good in talking, but they're getting to a point where I'm asking too many questions and people are kind of fickle-minded. It just depends on the weather, on um, how much money they're making, and what's happening in their life for them to tell me exactly how much money they'll be spending. But so far so good, and looks like this is going pretty well. Thank you.